Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, and welcome back to this next video. And this is another video in the series of videos on sex determination. In my previous two videos, I talked about two systems of the chromosomal sex determination. One was the XXXO system, the other one was the XXXY system. And in this particular video, I want to focus on the third type of the chromosomal sex determination, which is known as the ZZZW system. If you look at the animals, not all of the animals, they use the same system to determine whether an individual is male or that is female. For example, if you talk about the human beings, we use the famous XXXY, sometimes also known as the XY system. But if you look at the birds, some reptiles and butterflies, they are going to use a completely different set of the sex determination system, which is known as the ZZZW system. And this is going to be the focus of this particular video. Now, if you talk about this ZZZW system, so the cells of the male and the female, they are going to have the same number of the chromosome, just like the XXXY system, and unlike the XXXO system. If you look at the female, they are going to have two different sex chromosomes. One is known as the Z, the other one that is known as the W. If you talk about the males, they are going to have two same sex chromosome, which are known as the ZZZ, which is known as the Z, and the other one is also the Z chromosome. Now, why we use this like Z or the W chromosome? Are these chromosome they look like the Z's or the W's? That is not the case. We use the Z and the W symbols to prevent the confusion with the XX and the XY system. So there is no like the these chromosome doesn't resemble the Z's and the W's. The most common example from this particular family of the sex determination system, pigeon, the parrots, the butterflies, they are the most common example for the ZZZW sex determination system. If you talk about the meiosis in these birds, for example, so the female, they are going to have one a Z, the other one is the W chromosome. So the male, they are going to be have both of the chromosome, they are going to be the same, the Z, and the other one is going to be the Z. When they go to the meiosis, the female is going to produce two kind of the gametes. One gamete is going to have the Z chromosome, the other one is going to have the W chromosome. What that would mean that the female, they are going to be heterogametic. Now, if you look at this one, this heterogametic nature of the female, this is the opposite of the XXXY system, like the human beings, where the female, they are homogametic. They are having two copies of the X chromosome, but in the ZZZW system, the female is heterogametic. Half of the gamete, they are going to have the Z chromosome, and the other one, that the other half are going to have the W chromosome. If you talk about the males, when they go through the meiosis, of course, they are going to be homogametic in nature, because all of the gametes, they are going to have this Z chromosome. So this is, you can say, exactly the opposite of the XXXY system. What this means is that the sex of the individual is going to be determined by which type of the female gamete that combines with the male gamete. Again, this is going to be the opposite of the XX and the XY system. For example, if the egg that is containing the one of the gamete from the female that is containing the Z chromosome that combined with the Z chromosome from the male, from the sperm, you are going to get a male offspring. Conversely, if the egg is going to provide the W, again, the sperm can only provide the Z. When they combine with each other, you are going to have ZW, which of course is, you can say, a female one. Now, in my next video, I'll be talking about the environmental sex determination system. That would be the other type of the sex determination system.